Want to get leaner or build muscle? Or maybe you want to increase your performance in the gym? Give the RP Diet Coach app a try. You just plug in your current stats, your goals, and timeline, and that builds your diet. It'll tell you how much and when to eat, and make weekly adjustments so you can stay on track for hitting your goals. Click the link in the description to get the app for 33% off of your first 6 months. I've been using RP for, 4 years now. Love it. The guys and girls over there at RP are pretty awesome. Know their stuff. It's been really good. I've actually, for me, the biggest thing was I was not eating enough. This helps me hit my targets on my macros, buzzwords there, my carbs, proteins, and fat. Keeps me feeling healthy, feeling good. So check out the RP Diet Coach app, and it makes everything else even simpler. This episode is also brought to you by our partner Whoop. When it comes to training, it's so important to know what your body is ready to handle and what it needs to recover. Oftentimes we push ourselves too hard, and that can result in overtraining or injury. You might know when you need to scale a workout, but not know when your body needs to scale things back. And that's where Whoop is such a valuable tool. Whoop is a fitness tracker that provides personalized insight into how recovered your body is and how much stress you take on during the day in training, and lets you know how well you sleep. It's like having a coach that lets you know when your body is ready to handle and how hard to push and how much sleep you need to recover. I've said it multiple times. For me, the fitness tracker side of it is cool, but it's not the main reason why I use it. It's really cool to see those things and kind of see what you think, how hard you think you went. But then the tracker usually tells you how hard you didn't go. So the recovery part of it, though, for me is huge. The HRV, the sleep, lets me know where I'm at. And if I see a downward trend in my recovery, I know I need to dial it back a little bit. If I see it's staying pretty close to even, or even, up and down swings are no big deal. But if I see a major swing in the negative and it's way down there, then I know I need to be smart. So, and for all the listeners today, if you've been thinking about giving Whoop a shot, there's no better time than now, especially if you're getting ready for the Open. Well, as you're finishing the Open, this is an old ad read. For my listeners, you can save 15% off your Whoop with a code Mayhem, MAYHEM. Go to Whoop, WHOOP.com, and use the code Mayhem at checkout to save yourself 15% off today. Know yourself with personalized recovery, strain, and sleep insights from Whoop. All right, today's podcast, I don't even remember what we talked about. Do you, Ben? It was kind of, Elly was here, so there's no telling where it went. Lots of randomness. It was a good podcast, though. Fun. And hope you enjoy. Tasia's the host because she has so much to talk about.
You guys, welcome to Froning and Friends, episode 5000.
Go ahead. Tell them about your birdie.
Okay, can I pull this on this podcast? Or is it too loud?
If you're listening to this podcast, lower the volume right now. We're about to put something really loud on.
All right, so we talked about birdies on the last episode. My device to block attackers.
Oh, it's not even that loud.
Do you think it will save me?
No. It's more like, I feel like it's more like cheering them on.
I mean, the question is, do you have any hearing loss?
None.
Okay, but if I hold it up to your ear.
Who?
When you're attacking me, if I hold it up to your ear, you'll be...
Your ear.
I am definitely going to punch you harder.
Noise fetish, so.
Okay,
That was good.
Ellie's got one too, so she's
Yeah.
protected.
Why don't you guys just take like a self-defense class?
I would.
That could be great too.
Well,
Yeah.
what kind of self-defense class?
One where you learn
Are
to
you
defend yourself.
A self-defense class?
No, I mean, if I'm learning how to fight, I want to like do cool stuff.
I don't
Like
think
where
it's
they
fighting.
fight.
kind of
It's
self-defense?
just defending.
The self-defense kind.
I mean, the superhero kind, like you see in movies, like
That's
stunt
not-
people do. Could I take a stuntman class? I'd do that.
I honestly do want to take a self-defense class, and I think it's really valuable for, women and men to take. I think I might have too much fun in it. Like, be laughing if someone tried to attack me.
See, I feel like you'd take it really seriously. Like that you'd like stare the like fake perpetrator in the eye and like go
I've
like
seen
Wanda on them.
I mean, I guess whenever I've seen it, I've only seen it in comedy movies.
You
Now
ever been
that
in a
I'm
fight
thinking.
before?
Not a real fight, no. Well, with my little brother, that doesn't really count.
No, not.
So.
I mean, but not like a real fight where you actually everything just really changes. It's not
like your
funny
demeanor.
anymore.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's like
I think that's a little bit different for girls too. There's not like
Well, I'm talking about actual real conflict when it's serious. Someone's really trying to hurt you, and your whole demeanor changes. And
Totally.
I pushed a
I know
girl
you guys
down
are
on
having
an
fun with
escalator
it,
one
but-
time.
You what?
Pushed a girl down on an escalator.
Escalator?
What?
That's
Okay.
ruthless.
Okay, well, can I explain
They just
context?
they're probably still falling. Those things are sharp too.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
that's
I used to be terrified as a kid. I don't know
You're
why,
getting
but I
a
was
shoelace
terrified.
and
Yeah,
just
my
sucking
shoelace
you
was going
in
to get
and-
caught. I was
It's
going to
not
die.
easy to step onto those things, like the
Elf.
timing.
Is
Yeah.
that the movie where he's
Yeah.
like,
Good one,
As a
Jen.
kid,
Look
I
at that
hated those
movie
things.
reference.
yeah.
But yeah, so I was in Spain getting on a train, and my friends were all ahead of me. And so I was literally like running down, like they were gonna leave me, like they weren't gonna just wait for me. We had places to be.
So this was an innocent bystander.
No, so we have those big backpacks on, or like travel bags, whatever, with my whole life in it. And the reason I pushed her was because I realized what she had in her possession. So I feel someone fiddling on my backpack, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. The person behind me must be really close to me. I look back, she's got half my stuff in her arms.
Smart.
So fight or flight, I couldn't flight. I look and she has my toiletry bag. You know what's in there? My retainer. That's a
Oh
one-of-a-kind
my
item.
gosh.
Wow.
You can't get that thing back.
That's true.
That's my teeth, and that was going to be out there for
And
a
this
while.
is just some person was getting into your backpack.
It was they call it, they have a name for it.
Thief.
Oh, like a thief
Yeah.
of some kind. Yeah.
A robber.
Robber, a pickpocket.
A pickpocket, yes. So, and again, looking back, like there's nothing more violating than looking back. My belongings were in her arms. So, mind you, I'm about to miss a train. So I just shoved her, grabbed my stuff, and for whatever reason, my instinct was to yell no. I said no and ran.
I actually can relate to this because I worked in retail before. I think I told you this.
there's a
and
good
these
story.
like 12, 13-year-old girls came in and stole stuff from the store. And we saw it on camera. And I didn't like go push them or anything, but found them and got our stuff back. But I remember that feeling of being like, just how rude.
How
to
rude.
Come in here and steal. It wasn't even like my store. I was just working there. But like the disrespect.
People should realize she tracked them down. Like they were gone, and Tasia was like, I will find these chicks, which is pretty legit.
You know what really happens in real life?
Yeah, tell me.
Can I tell you in real life
Yeah.
what happens when you get under stress like this? Let's just say, so first let me say, I think it's really important for every woman to take a basic self-defense class. Like they make really good courses that are 2-day courses. So you can learn, if it's not a motor skill, you're in trouble. It's like CrossFit, same kind of a thing. You go to power clean, it's not a motor skill, it's a problem for you. If I go to choke you or grab you or take something from you and you haven't trained, something like this is not a bad idea, or a taser or something like that. But you can, in a couple of days, learn a couple of things that will really help yourself. But actually just to yell is really a big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
It's simple things
like
that,
to-
like, if you, like, even in sports, like, if you know small things, it's not like you have to think about it. Like, it's semi-rehearsed,
To be
right?
willing
Like,
in that kind of conflict to yell or to punch somebody or to hit somebody surprises people when they just freeze. Sure. They don't do anything else but just they're stunned in that space, and all of a sudden things are happening to them without them even having the ability to fight back. So I think it's important, and everybody should. I think
we had a really cool, at one of the old gyms I was at, Special Forces guy ran it, and he had, like, a women-specific, like, looking back, like, I wish I could have taken his, because his was legit. Like, he would, like, duct tape your hands and zip tie your hands together, and showing you the difference between, like, is it you want them closer to, of course, I don't remember now, but, like, you want them either, I think, closer together so you can create more, like, he throws you in a trunk and shows you how to, like, get out of a trunk of the car. Like, his was, like, next level survival,
Right.
which I think would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you know. Silver
FaceTime,
taking
daughter.
some.
Screenshot.
I'm trying to stop it. Hold on,
You want to go
sorry.
live? You want to be like, hey, we're on the podcast.
No, because that's my daughter. I like her a lot. She might say something. I'm just kidding.
Well, I know Ben's got some information about his poops going on, so
Oh, sweet mother. of
we can
goodness.
just turn it over to you.
Plug in the poop app.
No, we're talking about your Elly mushrooms.
Oh yes,
come
I
on,
told
that's-
Elly.
Warning
you gonna throw me
people
under
not
the
to
bus?
take them.
But I think I think it's just
Poop, but.
that was good.
Wait, you didn't poop your pants after that day of mushrooms, though, did you?
I don't remember.
Okay, you'd remember, because he sounds...
Huh?
He's like, you could
I
have.
pooped. I don't know.
But you know, like when you take a lot of vitamin C and
No.
you haven't been taking it for a while, your
Yeah.
stool's kind of like loose. I
Or
think it's
zinc.
just
You're
Zinc
loose.
does that too.
I think it's just like I'm getting cleansed maybe. I like to think that's what's going on.
I feel like you're probably going to feel the best you ever have in your whole entire life next week, and it's
I mean,
going
I
to
feel
be
pretty
because
good
of...
today. I feel really good.
And, you know, mix that with peppermint organic tea, and you'll actually get, and spearmint, and you'll get like a full cleanse.
See, I don't like peppermint.
Not like, it
or-
doesn't make you poop, it's just good for your organs.
Hey, I tell you
gotta
what would be a
watch,
good plug though would be you talking about that thing you made, that cornbread,
Oh.
Froning Farms.
So I actually,
Yeah,
I
why
just...
is that not here?
Okay, so because I didn't know you guys wanted me to bring it. And also I just had to, I restocked on Bison because I have 3 more things. I can't even, I'm not going to say them yet because they're going to be crazy. I'm so pumped.
Can we just say always bring whatever you've made?
Yes.
Like standing rule from here on
Except
out? Like
food.
always,
Well, no, I
always
didn't
bring
get
it.
any feedback.
Always bring it.
I'm pretty sure we were all like, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, well,
I know
That
I
sounds
did.
delicious. Eat it all
said-
to yourself.
I said, oh my.
You
it
anything
this
that
way.
you cook, I think should always be just bring
okay.
it.
Okay, well then
'Cause
I will
it'd be
say the
great.
next thing I'm going to make
You
because
have
I
to
need you
sell
to make
that
this thing.
send that to Kelly, the recipe to Kelly, and
I
she'll
have
post it.
3 other ones that are going to be so good. And I also made, last night I should have brought these. I'm so bad. I made what I call custard clusters. Caramel custard clusters.
They're
I didn't
bison in
bring
it?
them.
Custard
No, they're just
Bison in 'em? Is that what
chocolate.
you just said?
Well, custard.
I was gonna put like a little.
cinnamon?
I was gonna put a little
By synonym?
Yeah.
By
cinnamon on the top.
Synonym?
Bison custard clusters.
I made Uncrustable French toast. It was pretty good.
Whoa.
Oh,
What?
okay.
That actually
Wait,
sounds
you
really
made
good.
it
How do you
or
do
you
that?
bought it?
I made
Hold
it.
on.
I made it.
How do you do that?
Yeah, that
Well,
sounds
so
good.
what happened was I got a box of 10 Uncrustables, and you're supposed to put them in the freezer, and somehow they got put in the fridge. And when they do that, they're like a little stale-ish, the bread is. So the neighbor this is a long story, but the neighbor has blue heeler puppies. And so the kids wanted to go see them. So we went over there to see them. She also has geese, ducks, and chickens. Well, she let the kids get some eggs. So we brought the eggs home. The kids wanted to use the eggs. So we made French toast, and I had those Uncrustables. I was like, I'll try these.
That sounds
They
good.
were delicious.
It sounds
sounds
amazing.
so
I've
good.
never
Remember, you
thought
don't
of that
need
before.
syrup or anything.
Yeah.
It's awesome because it like liquefies the peanut butter and jelly
Oh,
into
gosh, that
one
sounds
mixture,
so good.
Yeah.
and they're warm. It would be really good even to just like butter
In heat.
the Uncrustables and toast it because a toasted peanut butter and jelly is incredible.
Yeah.
And so just to butter and toast them,
Sounds good.
that's on my next. They were delicious.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah,
That does sound
you just take. I mean, you just whip up. You know, the French toast mix that Mom always made was like eggs, some cinnamon, and vanilla, and you just whisk it up.
Yep.
And then I just drop it each side twice, and then put it on there. They were good.
Sounds really good.
You'd probably have to do them already thawed if they're not already.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to do them frozen, but man,
It's delicious.
they were good.
It does sound really good.
So you want to
I
hear?
may have eaten 4.
You what?
I may have eaten 4. but-
I'm sure you can afford
and
it.
then the kids didn't eat all of theirs,
Really?
so I may have eaten
6.
6
Wow.
or
And
8
that's the cool part about like
or 10. Just kidding. No, it wasn't 10. It was not 10.
it doesn't gross you out to eat off your kid's plate.
I don't care.
Other people, you're
I
like,
love
nah, but with your kids, you're
Actually, I
like,
don't care.
oh, you
I'm gonna
don't.
say,
Oh.
I don't really
I'm
feel
not-
that
I'm not-
grossed out by.
Darren, when he first moved down here and didn't have a ton of money, he would just not go to, when we go to restaurants, he wouldn't order anything. And then he'd just kind of like stare at you like you're going to eat all that. And then he would eat everybody else's food off their plate.
Oh, I love that.
Pre-COVID, everybody. Pre-COVID.
Now that's he's onto something.
Yeah.
He's smart.
He still does that. He orders his own food, but then eats everybody else's food.
He does do that.
Chicken wings. Have you ever seen him eat chicken wings? So you eat your wing, and I pick mine pretty clean.
Yeah.
Darren goes through and still picks the rest of
Someone else that they've
man.
eaten?
Oh yeah.
Nasty.
And takes everything off.
Because you like slobber on a
like
wing.
the gristle, everything. He takes it
Ew.
off.
Yeah, okay, that's a
That's
little.
that's not too much
Yep.
for me.
Yep. I don't do it.
That's like
That's
full
Darren.
commitment.
But yeah, he's like, "There's still meat on those," and I'm like, "No, dude. That's just ligaments,
Oh, gross.
Cartilage,
ligaments, tendons, and cartilage. Yeah. No.
Ew.
Well, I mean,
sustenance.
Yeah. I mean, It was good having Darren.
Are you
here.
ready for my next idea?
Oh.
I didn't really explain the first one,
Yeah,
but
explain the first one.
the next one I'm even more excited about. It's more even rich. Let's put it that way, like from a food standpoint.
Okay.
So the first one was, first you candy bacon basically. So you put brown sugar on it, brown sugar bacon. And then I drizzle either honey or agave, like whatever you have. If you like a little kick, just a tiny little bit of cayenne, and then you put it in the oven, like 400, couple minutes, flip it, whatever. So I cut that up and I put that in the cornbread. And then I saved some to sprinkle on top. And then I took this Southwest Verde Bison is so good. I don't know how I hadn't really tried it. I think I dipped it in chocolate that one day, but it tasted like chocolate, not like anything else. So then I sprinkled that on top, and then it's actually really easy to make like honey style glazes. I've been like experimenting with these. So honey and butter together, like 2 tablespoons of butter and like just not even like
Sounds like something I'd
this
eat.
much honey. But if you take 1/4 cup of bourbon,
Grass-fed honey and bourbon, or wait,
Fresh beef.
butter?
it is the good honey, by the way.
Isn't there a certain type of honey like where you just
Yeah,
Wild-
it's,
wild honey
It's
or
called
local-
something. The
local
M30
wild?
people taught me about it. It's like something even more than that. It's I don't know
Clove
why
honey?
it's
Clove honey?
no.
I just made that up.
I have to ask Willie. It's something. It's even
That was
more
good.
intense than
It
that.
sounds-
I was trying to think of something.
Comb honey?
I'm like, clove doesn't actually make sense.
They do make honey from like there is clover honey. So you were on to something. Yes. So if you pour bourbon in a like medium heat pan, it'll reduce like
How
by
many
half.
shots did you take while you were doing it?
Can't say take shots of bourbon regularly, but pickle juice, whatever. Anyway, so you reduce that and then you add it, you sit it in the fridge and let it cool, and then you add it to the butter and the honey.
Wait, what does pickle juice have to do with anything?
That's what she mixes her bourbon with.
We used to take whiskey
Oh, okay.
pickleback shots
Anyways,
long
continue.
ago.
I was confused where pickle juice came
This is another time. This is another life. Okay. So anyway, if you mix the bourbon in with the honey and the butter, it is awesome. It's like sweet and just has like a little bit of a different flavor. So then you just drizzle that over the cornbread, the bison, and the candied bacon, and it is like
Sounds
really good.
Should link the actual recipe in the notes of this podcast.
I will.
Give it
Okay,
to me.
ready? This one, I need
Is
your
there
brisket
another
for this
one?
next one. Well, this is what I want to do next, but I'm going to
Almost
save
shot myself.
the other two.
One of the hardest things on the planet for me, I 100% hate cooking. Don't care. Don't care about it at all. I do want to eat it. Like I want to
forgot
eat, but when you were talking right there, it was everything I could just to stay present. Just
I know.
focus
I
on what
figured
she's
that I'd be
saying.
losing some people.
Because I don't know. It's just one of those things. People start talking about cooking. My brain just goes to
That's
whatever.
fair. This next one, I'll try to be quick.
No,
I
it's
forgot
okay.
the Froning Farms hot sauce. I also put the hot
That's
sauce
really
on it.
good, by
and
the
it
way.
was
That's good.
so
That's good.
good.
It's really good.
Wait,
Out of all the
piggyback-
Froning Farms things, it's my favorite actually.
good.
I was
The
gonna
hot sauce.
say the way you feel. You said you just feel is the way I feel when you guys start talking about like football.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I'm not
got
kidding.
He does
That's
not.
the best
we
way
were
to
sitting there
describe
one
it.
day, and he no recollection of anything football. He was just sitting there.
I
like,
get it.
well, I
We've
don't get
all
this.
got that. Yeah. Like
I've played it a few times. Didn't know what I was doing. I was just told like run, and like either try to keep this guy from getting the ball or catch the ball, and then take off.
I get it.
That's all I know. But
We've all
you
got
can
those
continue.
spaces in our life. What's it for you? What could I start talking about right now, and you would just be like fighting to stay present, to stay in the conversation?
I don't know. I'm genuine.
Guns?
No, I'm genuinely pretty curious about most things
Do you
for a
remember-
certain like time period. Then squirrels.
Yeah. Do you remember that day before Into the Storm when Meals was here and you guys were talking about some sort of carburetor or something? It was like some sort of
Generator.
Generator.
Exactly.
Yeah, carburetor.
That I was like,
Or a generator.
Tasia,
Hook that carburetor to your house, pump
Yeah,
electricity.
carburetor to generate power for the
I
house.
know carburetors in a car, whatever.
We were talking about wattage and amperage. By the way, your dad, I found him that evening because I was really struggling with some of the details, and he just laid it out for
I'm
me.
telling you,
like,
Dad is
that
next
dude's
level genius. on that
genius
stuff.
when it comes to. Yeah. Okay. So it's one of those kinds of things.
Yeah, generator talk. Or
Okay.
like studs in a wall. I don't care.
Yeah. I got it. All
I'll
right.
hire
Go ahead.
someone.
Dude, speaking of studs, I just can't believe that the extension is 2x6 studs
Yeah.
on 12-inch
What does that even
centers.
yeah, you're
They're
gonna have
2
to
by
elaborate on
6s,
It's
so
the Mac
two-
Daddy of
two wide
building.
or 2
Oh, like
by
a-
6 the width
Yeah, like a 2x4.
versus a 2x4. So it's
I got
wider.
that.
okay.
Bigger.
so they're it's pretty well built, and then on 12-inch centers. So each stud is centered on 12 inches.
Okay.
Did you get that?
It's really
I
incredible.
actually did because I understand now that
You're
there's
saying it's
studs
incredible
in
because
a
it's
wall,
like a
but
lot of
it's not
wood
the
and it's
whole
stout.
wall.
Right.
Yeah.
They're in
Well,
certain
it's not a
spaces.
pole
Right, with the
barn,
drywall over the top.
Yeah.
Pole
Just
barn
the
is
stuff?
a lot
Yeah.
less wood, but
What's the keep?
Pole
it up?
barns really are just like six
Guess it's
big
not as
support
bad now.
beams with
Yeah.
like flimsy walls.
Yeah, no,
but like that's like the way to build though. I feel like or the
Oh,
way
yeah.
everybody needs to build. Nobody just does because you can get away with not building it that way, and it's
right.
way
No,
cheaper.
that's pretty solid building.
They're putting it up quick.
It'll go real fast for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then it'll slow down because all the interior stuff takes a lot longer. but It's
Yeah.
I mean, there's actually not a ton to do, honestly, so it might not take that long.
I was impressed. I was riding a mountain bike the other
I
day
think
coming
they
around.
should have
Yeah.
trusses up at some point today.
And they were like up in
Yeah,
the
the framing's
Do you know?
fast.
Do you know what trusses are?
stuff that holds the building up. Yeah, this.
Yeah, you're right. You got it.
The
You had it.
triangles on top.
The triangles.
The roof.
The roof. The roof. Yeah.
The roof
raised-
is on
I was
top.
gonna say, someone raise the roof, please.
It'll be good. That'll be the new podcast studio.
Ooh.
Yep.
I don't
Well,
think we
this
set
from
this
Become.
conversation up. You're building an addition
Yeah,
on
we're building
the
an
barn.
addition to the barn. A
point.
studio for all the Mayhem Athlete content we're doing. A studio for the podcast. Studio for apparel, all that type of stuff. That'll have like a green screen, a psych wall,
That's cool.
podcast studio, a full gym
A what
that's
wall?
heated
And climate
cooled.
controlled.
Climate control, heated and
Wow.
cooled gym area space.
What's a psych wall?
It's that wall that like is curved in all directions, so you can't see where it starts and ends. It's like that
Cool.
white.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That
Cool.
sounds really
It's,
awesome.
I mean, it's going to be a fully functioning.
Are you gonna put a
fully
little room
functioning
up top? You
studio.
said maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Tastes like room, huh?
You can't live there.
Yeah.
How much is that? So you're building my apartment, right?
I actually thought you said you were gonna put a room.
I thought I heard
The
someone
best
say that
part
too. To
is
be
that it's going to
fair,
have AC.
Yeah.
Rich is never going to be in the other
I'm
part
more
of the barn
excited about
again.
the heat.
I
Yeah.
could care less about the heat,
Oh, yeah.
honestly. Keep it at least in this winter. It's only going to be at 50 degrees.
He's going to freeze people out on 30-degree days
Seriously.
anyway.
That will probably still feel warm though on the
In the
days
summer,
when it's
it'll be
20
at 50
degrees.
degrees.
Will there be like a place for naps
Yeah. Ooh, yes, please.
where I can just get a nap?
Absolutely not for you, Ellie.
Oh,
Rich is always
like
like all these squatters just in the barn. He's like, we're turning off the heat and air at 5 p.m. Leave.
Beat it.
Everyone has to be out of here. Okay, can I talk about food for like 2 more minutes? Please.
Is this the next recipe?
Yeah. 2
It's
minutes.
up
Get
to
your mind
Rich.
right to check out.
Yeah.
You don't. Fine, you can't eat it
Is
if
it
you
like,
don't listen.
doo-doo-doo?
Okay, I only have to say it because I need you to make one part of it.
Okay.
Or not. If not, then I'll figure out a way. But how you've described your brisket, I think would be cool for a Froning Farms recipe. So back on the cornbread kick. Haven't decided. I'll need your input on this. Do you think I should put the candied bacon in the cornbread for this one? So
Yes.
I'm thinking of a Bison brisket cornbread tower. Wait till you hear this. So bottom layer is cornbread. We could or could not put the candied bacon in it.
Yes.
So then you do a layer of your brisket. Then we'll do another layer of cornbread. Could have candied bacon, maybe not. Then we'll do the layer of the Southwest Verde bison. Heck yes. Then we're going to throw on a couple homemade onion rings, a fried egg, and a pickle or a pickled okra. And then you drizzle it with either maple butter.
I know. You lost me at
Okay,
okra.
fine.
It
Get
sounded
rid of
pretty
the
dang
okra.
good up until
It's
then.
that's very
Maybe
southern. That goes with the
Pickles
farm.
is fine. Pickled okra.
Okay, then let's go pickles.
I've never had a pickled okra.
You don't want it.
Okay.
And then either maple butter or the bourbon butter again, because that was really good with the hot sauce.
I think we should try all 3.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds good.
So-
You like pickles?
I do.
love
Yeah, I'm not
pickles.
a huge pickle fan, but I'll eat a pickle.
The slice.
Yeah, I like the little sliced
No,
ones.
I'm saying the slice
I wanna
here
try.
in Cookville, the pizza place, the new pizza place.
Oh, yeah.
They go to the gym.
Oh.
They have a pickle pizza. And
Really?
It's
I
incredible.
want to try
That's
it.
not, I love
It's
pickles.
incredible, actually.
Well,
It's
let's
just a
check that
white
out.
sauce with pickles on it. It's
Like
delicious.
dill pickles?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You could probably
see.
add bacon to it, and it'd be really good.
Oh
but
gosh,
man,
that sounds so good.
Speaking of, this is totally just popped into my brain. Did you guys know there's a Mayhem donut at Ralph's?
Really?
What?
What does it
I just
consist
found out
of?
about this.
twist, maple, and then bacon on it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
maple.
yum.
It's like the maple
like
mayhem
heaven.
twist.
When
Yeah.
did this happen?
I don't know.
Back when we were over there. It's the twist
They
Okay.
sold some donuts.
with maple on top,
Yeah.
and then 2 strips of bacon.
It's
Oh, wow.
good.
Oh, I'm gonna.
It would be really good with like real bacon, but it's the microwave bacon.
Yeah.
It's still really good, but it would
I'm
be.
gonna have to check that
Oh,
out.
it would be
Yeah.
quality of bacon on that.
You think
would
a
be,
butter twist the best donut? It's just like a step up from
I
a butter
like
twist.
old fashioned there. The
Yeah.
old fashioned donut's good there.
Those are the
They're
ones
really
that are
good.
like the donut holes, right?
They're like it's a cake donut that's deep fried but glazed, and it looks
Yes.
kind of like
Yeah, those are
really
so
crappy
good.
and weird
Yep.
because
Yeah.
it's not perfect, but it's so good.
But the texture of them's better because
So
it's
good.
almost like a little crunchier.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. Oof.
That
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
that
Right.
means we'll try any of that. So go for it.
Oh,
Okay.
gladly.
Well,
Alright.
I mean, you don't have to make your brisket, but I could just do it with
needs a
bison
brisket.
layers.
Yeah, I think bison layers would be good. The
Okay,
brisket's just a
that's
lot
fine.
of work for that
It is a lot of work.
because
fair.
a brisket needs to be a standalone like thing.
You
It's
could
kind
do
of an
like
event.
linguiça or chorizo.
Yeah.
It's kind of spicier, but
I do. I love chorizo. I've been actually cooking with that lately with some artichokes and things, but not for this thing. But yeah, that sounds
Have
great.
you ever been to the little taco shop in the bread box gas station right over 40 off Willow?
What?
No, is it good?
Went there today. Had no idea. It's the
Good?
best little tacos I've had
Really?
What's it
forever.
called?
Yeah, it's called. I think it's called like El Campos.
Did you say it's in a bread box? What does that mean?
That's the name of the gas station. If you go over 40 on Willow,
Okay.
past the Ford dealership,
Yep.
and then you just go. There's a gas station on the right past that
I know
hotel.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay.
Best little Mexican food place I've ever.
Wow.
Okay.
It's all like homemade, like yeah,
They like street tacos.
Yeah.
Like nice.
yeah, 100% chicken,
Wow.
steak.
Yeah. Now that you say chorizo, too,
So
I really
good.
Like that idea because it's spicy, the little kick.
I love chorizo. Yeah. That's my secret to meatloaf is adding a little chorizo in there, you know, with the ground beef. It's pretty good. Okay, off food.
I love meatloaf.
Yeah.
Meatloaf's good.
Have you ever had a meatloaf sandwich on bagels? This is what I used to do. Bagel, cut it in half, Miracle Whip, and meatloaf on it.
I like Miracle Whip.
Boom. I love
I like
Miracle
mayo
Whip.
too, though.
I hate mayo.
Miracle Whip.
Why?
I love Miracle
It
Whip.
makes me
Hate
think of
mayo.
when my parents were divorced.
Yeah.
That's what my,
That would definitely
That's
give you.
such a weird thing.
well, because
Sad
my
face.
dad can cook now. He can grill. Not cook. He can grill really
Right.
good and actually make some pretty good crock pot stuff. But back then, Dad, I love you, but he was not very good. I've probably told this, I think, before, but it was just a white bread sandwich. White bread, American cheese, and egg, and Miracle Whip.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds
That sounds
horrible.
great. What are you
No.
talking
with an
about?
I
egg?
hate Miracle
So
Whip.
good.
This is
Wait, was
sweet.
it? I guess if it was fried up.
The
Yeah,
egg-
fried up.
No, it was
Like the
raw egg.
toast?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember. It was not good.
I don't know. I might actually.
I have
do it.
nightmares from that actually.
I totally failed my children in the same regard.
Yeah, my
Like,
dad. We ate a lot of kids' cuisines.
Yeah, 100%.
That's my memories of when my parents were separated when I was really young. Were kids' cuisines and Miracle Whip egg cheese sandwiches.
That's the egg. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But it's kind of like a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
Just
I guess
with
not
that's
a
Miracle
good
true.
one though.
There's probably a better
I
one. But
hate Miracle Whip. I can't do it. Oof.
Jeez,
I don't know if I can trust you anymore. Actually, if you like Miracle Whip,
I love Miracle Whip.
mayo.
I hate mayo.
See, I love mayo.
See, I like mayo. What if I like both?
Well, then you're
Politically incorrect.
what's the right? I don't know what to say. You're fine.
Thank
You're
you.
It's okay. You get to like whatever you want to like.
I love mayo.
I like all
hate
food.
Miracle Whip.
Honestly.
Blech.
Bleh. Yeah, that doesn't sound. So
I don't
great.
think there's anything I have in my memory that I connect food to like
Really?
that. Well, so I better not tell that story. I do remember peanut butter and honey that way a little bit. My grandpa used to make peanut butter.
Oh, I
and
like
honey.
peanut butter and honey.
Mix
Or
it
peanut butter
together.
and honey and bananas. Yum.
Yeah,
My grandma made like corn casserole. It was like a scalloped corn casserole. I don't even know, but
Yeah.
that's what makes me think of Thanksgiving with her.
yeah.
Like the food
Yeah.
associations.
You guys
Yeah.
ever had those canned sloppy joes?
Manwich? No, my mom made.
Manwich.
My mom made
That's
The real stuff.
nothing out of a can. Yeah,
Oh,
she
my
made
mom
good
did
sloppy.
those.
I haven't had sloppy joes.
I haven't
in
had a
long time.
sloppy Joe either.
Ooh.
Let's
Sloppy
do
Joes are
that.
Good.
I have a really
Good.
good homemade sauce recipe too, because Manwich will probably take 5 years off your life at this point.
I still like man.
it tastes
I've
good.
never
You're
actually- I
on
don't know
point.
if
It
I've ever
tastes
had
good,
manwich.
but
My mom was like everything was going to be. We weren't doing anything from a can or anything like that. So she was really good with that stuff. I think because her mom was that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of
My
food
mom
from
used to
a can.
make. She doesn't anymore. She still can, I'm sure, but made homemade barbecue sauce. It was
Ooh,
my grandma's
yum,
recipe.
yeah.
It was really good.
ooh, that'd be cool. I'd
It
love to
tastes
see that.
like now though. It tastes like Sweet Baby Ray's, so there's no
Yeah.
point in making it now. But it was
yeah.
that's what it tasted
Still
like as a
like-
kid, which is a really good
Less chems.
barbecue
Oh my
sauce.
gosh.
Oh,
Well,
did you ever have liver
liver?
growing up?
I've
liver
never
and
had
onions.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad eats livers and hearts.
I wouldn't do that now, but my mom would do that, and that was pretty good. I can remember that.
Or hamburger helper.
We didn't. I was kind of
Mom
same
wouldn't
with
do
Rich's
hamburger.
deal. We didn't do any of the. My mom
We
cooked
did
all that.
Kraft like macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly, like that was lunch. Like it was either Kraft macaroni and cheese or peanut butter and jelly.
We
My
love
favorite
cream
is
cheese.
no, we couldn't have sodas, but we could have Kool-Aid. We couldn't have pop.
Just
For us, it was pop. We couldn't have pop. Any Coke.
Right.
You have Kool-Aid. I'm like,
Oh,
now,
gosh.
at the time, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then now I'm like, it's the same damn thing, just without
No
carbonation.
fizzies.
Yeah.
Fizzies.
Yeah. So there's that.
We had this is the funny food story. My mom, coming from this, really kind of Christian, like conservative home, she thought that deviled eggs were deviled eggs.
Ooh, I
She
love
thought
deviled
really,
eggs.
she would
I
not.
love deviled eggs.
Mom, they're not devil eggs.
They are
Look the word up.
deviled.
It's deviled. It's
Deviled.
scooped out.
Yeah.
She never could get
Call them
that.
Jesus eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
actually don't know.
Seriously, she tried to give them names.
Yeah.
We're gonna call them angel eggs.
Oh, that's perfect.
What's in a deviled egg?
It's basically you fry or
dill
you.
or no? A little bit of dill.
I like sweet relish.
Okay.
You take the yolks out of all the eggs after
Okay.
you
Cook 'em.
boil them,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and then you cut them, and then you throw the yolks in, and then mayonnaise or
Yeah,
Miracle Whip,
Miracle Whip for sure.
and
Oh,
then
jeez, no.
relish, and then whatever
that's
else
it.
you want to add
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
And then put it back in.
And then you
the
scoop it
egg.
back in.
Because I remember I've always seen them, but I always kind of
They're so
stayed
good.
away from
Yeah,
them.
If you
they're
like
super
pickles and you
good.
like mayonnaise, you'd love them.
You would
They're
love.
so
They're really
good.
And
good.
they're actually not that
All this
bad.
time.
Honestly.
No,
You could eat
they
so
kind of
many
stink a
fast.
little bit though.
I
stink.
think that's why I've
Yeah.
always avoided them.
They stink, but man, they're
They
good.
do stink, but if
What's
you
the
eat them
s-
quick enough.
What's the stinkiest food that tastes delicious? The thing that
Deviled
just
eggs.
like. Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh yeah,
Do you
eggs
know
usually.
if you put an onion in the fridge and then slice it, you won't cry? And they already told me that too. Is that real life?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't do
actually.
onions, so
I like onions when they're cooked, especially.
Yeah, saute caramelized onions, brown butter onions, raw onions. Not really. Oh, I like raw onions.
Stinks. That's good.
What those things we ate on the 100th pod? Clams stink.
Those
yeah,
didn't
that
taste
was,
They don't
that
taste
was
good.
pretty
They taste
nasty.
good.
Those were
Yeah, that
nasty.
was
Some
pretty nasty.
fishes don't.
Oh yeah, fish never makes anything smell that good. Flash frying things. I don't love the smell of like oils in your house, but man, the fried food is good. Fish
Shrimp-
definitely.
Shrimp doesn't smell great sometimes when it's
Yeah,
Or like tuna.
Shrimp.
scallops,
for sure.
tuna,
Yeah,
that
shrimp,
type of
all
stuff.
of it.
Tuna doesn't smell good.
Yeah,
Scallops
fish.
definitely
Lots of
not.
fish.
A lot of
Yeah.
fish.
yeah. Do you want the easiest? This is real quick, Silver. I know you can hang on for this one. The easiest but healthy sloppy Joe recipe ever. So your ground beef, onion. It's
Manwich.
just
He's
ketchup,
out. You
chili
said onion.
powder, paprika, yellow mustard, like dry yellow mustard, and that's it.
I love yellow
And a little
mustard.
bit of
I will
vinegar.
starve before I ever do that. Literally.
No, you won't. I didn't know you hated cooking.
I will stop.
It's so bad. Like
can
they could be laying there on the counter, and I'll
You
die.
don't grill
I'll
or
die of
anything? You like to
starvation.
grill?
How can you
I
be in
do-
my top 5 and you don't like
I know.
food cooking?
I don't know.
Just
I do some chicken stuff on the grill or
Yeah.
whatever.
you put Miracle Whip on it.
Maddie's food.
It's good.
It's changing my
so
life.
good.
It's so awesome.
It's
I get
really
it.
good.
If you had meatloaf, the meatloaf,
It's so
it's
good.
Oh, I haven't had the
Yeah,
meatloaf.
meatloaf and sweet potato, like mashed sweet potatoes.
I've liked everything but the one burrito. One of the burritos.
I
didn't
thought
like
the
that
burrito was
much.
good.
Really, the burrito
I
was
thought
great.
that was awesome.
It's a little soggy.
Yeah,
because
that's-
it just sits
Yeah.
there, but man,
Yeah.
it's still
I
good.
actually
why.
liked how soft
Flavor's
the tortilla
good.
was. Like it was pretty
I
good.
haven't had anything that I was like, meh.
No,
I
I've
bet
been.
if you take the burrito and put it on like a frying pan.
Right.
But that's kind of effort.
I would die first
Yeah.
before I actually did that.
I thought about that as it was coming out of my mouth.
Get back here.
I was like, you know what now?
Oh gosh.
I have a chair I sit in. Kristen feeds me. It is what it is.
Palm leaves and
Yeah.
grapes.
Yeah, I was gonna say grapes. Oh gosh. Well,
Not true. That's a joke, people.
sure. Lighten up. So you know those stories, like I only tell why I tell them to you guys knowing that you'll tease me for it. I don't know why I do this to myself, but it's just one of those things like you would think, but I have to share this because I wonder if anyone else has ever done anything so ridiculous in their whole life.
Probably not.
So I took my dog out the other day, and like
Mangy?
Little Bear.
A little bear. That's right. I forgot.
She's not mangy
His name
anymore.
was changed.
Changed her name because that's like a disease. And when my dad named her, he didn't realize he was naming her after a disease.
It's
So
a-
this is now your dog.
It is my dog.
It's a sweet story.
It
This
is-
dog adopted your
is-
dad.
This dog is like it follows me everywhere.
really
like
cute.
it just I have anxiety. Like she plays me so hard now. Like she'll get ready with me at 5 a.m. She'll walk me to the door and just watch as I leave. And I'm like, why do you do that? Like that's not necessary.
It's
you know?
called love, Elly.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so she always poops in the same area, so I have to
That's also
picking up with
called
these
love.
stupid clipper things, whatever.
Wait, in your house?
No.
Clippers.
It's a
Pooper scooper.
Yeah, thank you. Not clippers.
That's clippers.
Whatever.
What are we talking about here?
So I walk it back to the woods, and then I throw I like hit the handle, and it like shoots out as I throw it, right?
Oh, I like that.
Well, my CNS was busted the other day. Thanks, Rich. It's usually Rich's
You and
fault.
Haley have used the word CNS 1 million times in the last 3 weeks, and it's my CNS hurts. My CNS hurts. My CNS
I've
hurts.
never even heard her say that.
She says it every day.
Well,
I don't know. I'm gonna do this because my CNS hurts, and I'm like,
making me horrible. Okay, I only reference my CNS when I start running into things. Because that's how I know, like, I'm getting, like, neurologically tired. So I clipped the side of the wall the other day. I knew my CNS was busted. So anyway, I go to pick up the dog poop, and busted CNS. I go to release it, and it doesn't
please
release.
tell me it hits you in the face.
So my arm keeps going, and then it's above my head, and just sprays, turns, and I'm like, I'm in the yard by myself, and I'm like, I don't even know which way to run. So I'm like fleeing my yard, trying not to get beamed as I get beamed by my dog's crap because
so
I threw
good.
it
I'm
in
glad
the
you
air.
told that story.
It was horrible.
I wish you filmed that like you do everything else.
Yeah.
Didn't have my camera set up for that
Dang.
one.
Don't you have a camera on the house maybe that's
No,
recording
my
all
neighbor
that?
does though.
Yeah.
She, speaking of another thing, the other day, she comes like texting me like 6 a.m. She's like, you know, there was someone in your driveway at 3 a.m. And I'm like, no, that's like, were they walking around the house? Like, what was going on? She's like, no, they just pulled in and they left. Well, Amazon is in Lebanon. So like you can get
They
same day
deliver at,
stuff
3
like
a.m.?
within.
They work at 3 a.m.?
So now they deliver same day overnight between. I didn't realize this.
Oh wow.
But yeah, they pull in at like 3 a.m., drop your stuff off and leave. So
Oh wow.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Amazon's taking over the world.
I see they have their
Literally.
own cars now. It's not because didn't Amazon used to come by like FedEx or UPS or something?
Yeah, it
Probably,
comes
yeah.
sometimes, but
And
not
now
everywhere.
it's like through an
Sometimes.
Amazon car.
Depends on how
Okay.
close they are. But
I think they're delivering stuff with drones now.
What?
that's so wild.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
How do they do
They
it with like
talked about it. I don't know if they're
airspace
actually
and
going to do
stuff?
it. I don't know if they're
I feel like that would
I
be.
Googled
Some
it.
redneck will shoot it down.
Wham!
You mean me?
New package!
They'll be
Kids!
just hunting for them.
Christmas!
Get
I've
your
got a-
guns.
There was one. I may have told this before, maybe not on the podcast, but the only time I've ever been physically beat by my parents, I was similar to that. I was taking. Well, this was before the EPA, I believe, and so we used to burn some of our cardboard. You probably did that. You had like a burn barrel, and so that was my chore. So I was probably 12 or 13, and I was going down to take this trash to the burn barrel. And it was in a bag, and I'm swinging the bag, and I go to chuck it, and I'd already pissed my dad off about something at that point. And so, you know where Dad's house is now, where the road is between that old white barn now and the red barn? Mm-hmm. So he's driving down the road, coming in from something, and I go to chuck this bag, and it hooks my finger. And it goes directly towards his truck, and it was slow motion. And I see his windows down, and I can see it going. The bag hits his truck. I don't wait 2 seconds. I turn and run as fast as I can towards the house. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Sure enough, he catches me mid-stride. My dad's fast. Like, he doesn't act like it now, but he was an athlete.
Yeah.
Catches me mid-stride, punts me. And so my feet are out from under me. I land on my butt, and I get up and take off. Don't turn around. And run and hide upstairs in my room. And I'm like, oh. About 30 minutes later, he comes up and apologizes. It's like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm like, it's all right. Understandable.
fine.
That's the only time I ever remember my parents using any type of physical.
That's
anything.
hilarious.
Usually it was just the F-bomb, and I knew I was in big trouble.
What was in
Yeah.
that bag?
Cardboard or something.
Okay.
It was just trash that we were
Just saw it
burning.
go
Yep,
towards
I was
his
just
head.
like,
It's
My
still
goodness.
attached.
Have you ever
Oh.
been practicing with your bow and accidentally shot an arrow?
oh yeah.
That's happened once.
Oh,
and it
no.
scared the heck
Like
out
up,
of me.
down, right,
I was
left?
getting really comfortable.
Yeah, and you just let
Yep.
it about right here. Your finger hits it.
Luckily, it was because I was drawn from the ground
floor.
up.
Yeah.
And I let go early
the ground?
here, and it went right into the ground.
Mine launched into the bison field.
Okay.
Luckily, there were no bison there.
Okay. That really scared me actually because I was getting pretty comfortable and feeling pretty good, and all of a sudden, foink.
Oh, this summer there were times where
crap.
that target was there, and then the bison would walk behind it, and I'm just like, Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Silver's like, yes. Oh, geez.
I need to get that target from you, actually.
Yes.
It's about time to start shooting again.
It's sitting right there. I just need to bring
You
it
guys
over
were
to
doing
your house.
that regularly and in workouts. That's one thing, like, that looks so cool in workouts. Like, I wish, like, Tasia, we should learn how to shoot a bow. Because that looks so cool when you do a workout and you go out there and shoot the bow in between. Like,
It's hard.
it's like next level. It looks really neat. I'd like to have that skill. That looks fun.
You should
I
go.
just don't have a desire for the bow for some reason.
You don't?
I'd rather shoot a gun, I
Like,
think.
forward roll into, like, that has, like,
No,
I think that'd be so
forward
cool.
roll with a bow. What are
Why
you
not?
saying?
They do that in movies.
I think that's how you get it taken away from you. Based on safety.
You're not
That's
shooting
how-
at our house.
That's how anybody in the real world will
Yeah.
never let you anywhere near them.
Why is that so unrealistic?
Why would you ever do that?
Self-defense? If you're
Why are you
evading?
using a bow for self-defense?
And why would you do a forward roll?
And why would you flip?
I
I
don't
totally
know.
see why you guys might like it, but it just doesn't draw any excitement for me.
Draw.
Got it.
That was good, Tasia.
Thank you.
Well played.
didn't mean
well
it.
played.
I know, but I was trying to give
I'm
her
gonna
credit
accept credit.
Draw.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Safety first, Elly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think I should. I'm gonna forward roll and do it.
I'm like all about safety at the barn,
We
so I
know
don't think
Captain
you should
Safety.
be allowed to have a bow.
I can do it, Tasia.
There's just like children and animals and things.
Well, I wouldn't be
Other
rolling around
people.
with a bow if the kids
You
were
still have your
nearby.
cats? You still have your cats?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in a while.
They're there.
Silver
there.
inquired about that the other day.
Miley followed us all the way down the driveway yesterday on our walk.
That cat
Really?
is the
She's
best
so
freaking
Miley's a
cat.
pretty good
I
cat,
really
actually.
regret not taking that cat.
a
That
good
is a
cat.
good
There's still a
cat.
chance.
Haley just stays away, which I'm fine with. But
Where does
I-
she go?
I don't know. They just go around.
I see her sometimes just scurrying.
Yeah, they
She
just
was
roam around.
she was at Lakeland was doing something along the side of the barn. She's just out there playing with Lakeland and
Yep.
just that. It's like a dog.
Yeah.
Literally follows everywhere. She's not
Yeah,
afraid.
we were walking down the driveway. You hear Gilligan's walking behind us, and right behind us was the cat walking.
Oh, that would have been a cool
She's
picture.
made a whole lap with us that one day when
Oh,
we
yeah.
went to find Gil.
Yeah.
She went the whole all the
Really?
way in the back. I'm not kidding.
The
Stayed
cat did?
with us. The cat.
That's a great cat.
all the way back. She can go on walks with her. You don't even need to put her in like a leash.
When I was driving in the other day, you guys were all coming out, and she was trailing behind, just kind of like that. Ta-da. And she doesn't really want to be picked up at
No,
times.
Yeah.
She
no.
doesn't. No.
She just wants to be a part of what's going on.
Aw.
It's a good cat.
Have they killed any
Except
rats
for
or
when-
anything yet?
Except for when you walk out in the garage. And they want food. All at my feet, and I'm like trying to
Yeah.
walk. There's been several times that I've scooted them a little.
I kind of like that they plague you.
Aggressively scooted them.
I just
Yeah.
like it's either that or step on them. You
Right.
know?
Oh. And they associate you with food. That's the best
It's
part.
weird that she doesn't really want to be pet. Like she sat with me on the box the other day, and I tried to pick her up and pet her, but she was like, "No, I just want to sit here. Don't touch me."
Was
But,
it
like,
while
be
you
near
were
me.
filming too?
Yeah, apparently there's
That's
a video
really
where I
cute.
look like I have a cat tail. or something.
That's kind of how Boots is though. That's why he's so cool. He does like attention sometimes, but he doesn't. Is not needy. He
Yeah.
just like to be around where you're at. He just exists.
Have you guys ever had so we're talking about like Gil epitomizes like just an awesome animal, Miley like just sweet cat. Have you guys ever had like an animal with just terrible
Gipper.
personality?
No,
Tasia loves Gipper.
but he's also not my dog. So when he's being Gipper, I can just be like, "See ya."
Bye.
When I was 12 to 13 range, when we lived on the mountain, my parents, my mom worked with somebody that something happened and one of them went to jail. So they had a Rottweiler. And we had Rottweilers growing up, and they were the sweetest dogs ever because we raised them like that. This dog was not. And somebody reached out to my parents, was like, "Hey, would you take this dog as a rescue, blah, blah, blah. The family's gone, or the people that had it." Dad's like, I guess because Rottweiler people, they think, are going to handle it. This thing was awful.
Like mean?
Yes. It liked my dad, and that was it. I remember one day, we didn't never chained up our dogs. We never tied up our dogs. Our dogs just kind of roamed free. We live out in the country. It was no big deal. This dog was chained up because it was going to kill somebody.
Oh
And
gosh.
at one point, I'm walking. The dad's like, "Hey, go feed the dog." And I'm like, "I don't want to feed the dog." He's like, "Go feed the dog." And I'm like, "I don't want to feed the dog." So I go feed the dog. It was seriously, it's like a movie. I go to set the food down. The dog sees me, takes off running.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
swear, mouth open, probably this close to my face when the chain caught it. And I was like, And my dad was like, all right, we're getting rid of the dog.
Say, I bet you never fed him after that.
I don't know what happened to the dog. I think my dad took him back somewhere, but you can never really tell. I just remember seeing the dog ride off with my dad in the truck.
Like when my dad used to tell me he took the squirrels and the raccoons back to the squirrel
He killed 'em.
sanctuary.
He killed those.
He killed him.
It's a different time. I don't think my dad. I think my dad actually took
No, he
this
took
dog
him to a
back,
shelter.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Or
Yeah.
took him to somebody
stories
else.
you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been. Yeah, I mean, you come in like the farming world too. Animals have to really be a part of what goes on and be a value add.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that dog
Okay.
was not.
Part of the
I don't
farm,
feel like that
you know?
dog was
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
rehabilitated. Like
You
that
can't
dog
have
was.
Yeah, it was
an
mean.
animal that.
Yeah.
There's no telling, and it's not the dog's fault. It was just how it was brought up. You know.
Yeah. You have to be. My little brother actually got bit in the face by a dog and got
Oh
like
my
19
gosh.
stitches.
What?
Yeah.
That's
it's really sad.
horrifying.
Mess you up.
Yeah, they're just some animals that, they have an attitude.
Yeah.
I was one of the scariest experiences ever for me was getting in I went to a house where they had rescued some wolf hybrids.
Ooh, wow.
And
I know that was the thing.
Oh, yeah.
it's in Colorado.
Half and
yeah,
half.
they
They
have.
have them here too.
Oh,
Like,
they do?
like husky and wolf type
Yeah.
hybrids. Yeah.
That you can have as pets?
Well, they have.
You're not really supposed to.
Well, this couple it was like a licensed
Okay.
rehabilitation, so it was all on the up and up.
Yeah,
and
these
their
are like
whole
rescues from people that
Yeah.
were not supposed to do it. Probably.
yeah.
Like a wolf sanctuary.
Yeah, that's what it was. Sanctuary. That's the right way to say it. And it was like she's like I kind of went over there and she's like, "Yep, you can go out there, walk out there with the animal. It's not going to hurt you, but it's going to come and it's going to basically inspect you. But you're going to be fine. Just don't be afraid."
Yeah.
And having that,
That's the best.
yeah.
Don't be afraid. They can sense if you're afraid.
But I remember going
Don't
back
sense
there.
me being afraid.
Their whole backyard is right up against the mountains in Fort Collins, Colorado. So it looks like kind of like like the wilderness. And that animal was so big and came right up and was like kind of smelling you, and then you're just like, oh, I'm gonna die, it's gonna get me. And then it kind of went away, but it was just
show
a
fear.
beautiful big old animal that just was really wild.
Yeah, that's
Really
crazy.
wild.
It makes me wonder, those people that go take pictures with like tigers?
And die.
That doesn't sound like anything I'd want to do, but people
No.
do that.
Yeah,
And I wonder what that fear is like. It's probably similar.
I don't know. When those people get got too, you're kind of like you sort of chuckle like. I'm not trying to be bad, but
No,
what are you doing
what'd
with
you
the
expect?
tiger, man?
You know,
Yeah.
or the grizzly, the guy that lived with grizzlies. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, all it takes is one.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? Like,
Yeah.
I had to laugh. He got eaten by a pack. And it was like on video or something.
Yeah, it was,
They-
it was a GoPro. I think
Yeah,
he like
they
set
had
up
it
a
all.
GoPro and he'd go hang out with these grizzly bears in the river.
Yeah. No. And they actually can sense your fear. There was this test way back when, and it was done with humans, and this is actually really gross. So they took people up to go skydiving, and they made them put like towels, or they patted down under their armpits of like people who were terrified, and then they brought people back in an fMRI machine. They made people smell like the fear, like little swabs, and then like normal ones, and like even though you don't know it, like you can identify. They would pick which ones were preferred, and like the non-fear ones were what people picked, and like it lit up a certain area in their
wow.
brain when they smelled the ones from skydiving, which is nuts. So imagine an animal sensory system, like they know when you're afraid. That doesn't sound. No.
What's the most afraid you've ever been in your life? Like where you can think back, just absolutely afraid. Like, oh my God.
Someone tried to drown me once. Well, he was drowning, and then I went over to help him, and he started pushing me
Oh,
into the
you
water.
told me about that.
Yeah.
That's
That's
nuts.
really scary.
Swimming over to someone. Yeah.
To try and help them from drowning, and then I thought he was
You?
going to drown me. This is fair. This is fair. He called my name, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll go
jeez.
over help
Did he
him.
make it?
He actually did
funny,
make
but-
it, so I ended up backing away from him because I was like, he's gonna drown me, and he was full panic. He was like a 40-year-old, tried to swim across this I think it was like just like a pond or something, but it was super deep. People die there all the time, and it's like, you look at it, you're like, I could swim that, and then you can't. And there are 3 people on shore that swam out and got him like all around him and just swam him in. He was full panic. I've never seen anything like it. Full panic until his feet were on land.
Wow.
Just like he would have totally taken
Yeah.
me down,
That's really scary.
but I could not save him.
Yeah. And but yes, it's kind of like who you are. You're so gracious. You're actually going to swim over there and try to help this person.
Yeah,
And swimming is
he
not
put
your
like,
your strongest thing. I'm not being.
no, and that was even before I came here, so I had even worse swimming capabilities. Than
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the most you've been afraid? Like legitimately afraid
For myself or for somebody else?
for yourself.
I feel like there's
For myself?
categories, yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember any time being that afraid. I don't have that switch for my own
Right.
Mm.
safety.
Really? Even when you used that time you went down on like the skateboard down the mountain, you weren't scared at all.
No, that's like a rush.
Elly?
Skydiving, not.
I think I quantify them in like, you what?
Did you call me a sociopath? Is that what you called me?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I feel like there's two categories, like he was saying, because there's one that's like obviously like emotional circumstantial other people, and then there's like maybe that one time that Rich left me at the top of the mountain at night, and I thought I was gonna get my car.
I've heard about this.
You really were afraid?
That's so good.
Wait, were you really afraid?
I was hysterical when
she
he
was
drove by
crying.
me.
She was hysterically
Hysterical.
crying. And it wasn't even that dark.
I said that like facetiously as a joke because that wasn't the time that I was the most afraid. But I was in all black. There's not one light.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if it's my time, it's my time. But not like I wasn't really afraid, like that kind of afraid. I figured I'd make it statistically. I think I was,
I can think of like being a kid and almost drowning.
Really?
I remember walking out into this lake, and I don't even remember why or how it happened, because I could actually swim. But I remember stepping off something that was, I was walking and all of a sudden I was going down. And just in that minute, I'm going to die. Like having that be in my head. And it's the only time that's ever happened to me. And there was a teenage boy who lived at the house. We're at somebody's house visiting, and all of a sudden he grabbed me and yanked me back and pulled me. And I remember legitimately being afraid, thinking, oh, I'm going to die. This is it. I'm going to die. And I've never really had that in my head ever since then.
See, even I had that drowning thing when I was in high school. That four-wheeler flipped over on me, but at no point was I like worried. It was just like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, when you recount that story,
no,
it's
it's
crazy
weird.
because
I
you
don't
do seem like you were so chill about like,
Like I had one where Lakeland, she was in the barn. I think you guys might have been there. She like tripped and fell and hit her, like knocked the wind out of her, and she like passed out. And I'm like, what the heck?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
You don't remember that? It was like 2 or 3 years ago, probably. She was like playing around, doing nothing, and she hit just the foot of the GHD or the it was either the GHD or the reverse hyper, and it like hit her in there, like it just knocked the wind out of her, but she just couldn't figure out how to breathe again, and she like, so I pick her up because she's like, and then just passes out, and I'm like,
Oh, geez.
at that
That's
point, full freak out, like
Yeah.
lost my cool for a second, and then she like comes back, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? And
Yeah,
then I
that's
figured it out
actually-
after, where it was just like, that's the first time she's ever done that.
I've had that a couple of times for other people where you're like, this is not going to turn out all right for them,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
And then
definitely.
Bob died.
Oh,
He texted me the other day. It was like a year, it was 3 years ago, I think he said. No, it
Yeah,
would've
that's
been
so crazy.
5
That's
years.
crazy.
What did
That
he
is
say?
really.
He said it the other day. It was on
Bob's the man.
He's so awesome.
He's an
Saturday.
incredible human
He
being.
said it's 6-year anniversary.
6
Wow.
years. It's
Wow.
crazy that it's
That was
been that
crazy.
long.
Bob is a member here.
What was it?
When Bob died at the gym,
Flatlined?
old gym.
No.
Yeah.
You haven't
Straight
heard
up.
that?
I've heard him talk about like his second life.
Yeah, we had like
But-
Friday night lights one night, and that would have been 15.
Yeah.
Been
Yep.
15?
It was the first year.
And it was a power clean handstand push-up workout that like progressively got more reps or more weight. I can't remember.
It was
And
more
he was
reps.
doing the masters version. It was power cleans and push press. And he finished and he sat down next to Dawn and Tim. And Dawn said he's just sitting there talking, and then like falls over, flat on his face. And Dawn thought he was just joking. And he like busted his nose, so he's like bleeding profusely out of his nose. But then he just like has a full heart attack.
Wow.
And there's probably 100 people or more. Were you there?
I was not. This is before me.
That was the Open 2015.
2015.
I started CrossFit January 2015, so I
It
would
would
have.
have been.
I don't think I knew what it was then.
He had a
so.
full-on heart attack, like
Oh.
killed him.
That's
and
wild.
then they
Yeah.
brought him back. So like
Like, he literally
they
died.
They started doing CPR on him. Fire department shows up, and it was the guys I know. And so I walk outside because I'd gotten all the people out because you didn't want to have too many people working on him. So I get everybody out, and everybody walked around that other side. The fire truck pulls up, and they're starting to kind of like they're walking up. Hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, I'll
Get in there
I'll go
now,
get
yeah.
the bags. Get in there. So I went and got the medical bags for him, and they start working on him. And yeah, Bob.
Didn't they like
Died.
drill an IV
Did
or
they use a
something?
Yeah, they had to bone
defibrillator?
drill him. Yeah, the
Oh,
defibrillator.
yeah.
Like we hooked it up to him, and I don't think we actually used ours. They used the one from the truck
Oh,
and
gotcha.
brought him back. And they said basically if If he hadn't been at the gym that day, he would have died. Because nobody would have been there to save him. And then if he hadn't done CrossFit or been doing CrossFit, he would have died. His heart or his arteries, his heart grew those collateral arteries or collateral capillaries, whatever it is, around the blockage. And that was enough to keep him alive. It's crazy.
He's like one of the best people I know,
Bob's
too.
a man.
That guy's an
Bob
amazing human
Franks
being.
is the man.
Love Bob.
So he's the one that lets us swim. Anytime you guys seen pictures and stuff of us swimming in the summer, Bob lets us swim in his house and cooks us.
It's almost that time of year again.
4-course meal.
Seriously.
Can't wait to
great.
Bob's house.
So
I
great.
can't wait.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Bob's is a 6-hour day.
Do what?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a 6-hour day.
Yeah. But it's
the
so
best-
good.
We
it's
love
the
it,
best
though.
kind of day. I do that 6-hour day all the time. But speaking of water, that did make me remember the fear thing. One that I actually do remember. This was a terrible idea. My friend and I, we went surfing in a hurricane swell.
52.
So you think that like the waves, they look beautiful and big, and
Did you know it was a hurricane swell?
Yeah,
Oh.
but you underestimate, like, I'd never been out in something that powerful.
Yeah.
It's like in Florida, like the waves are usually like kind of mushy and they like kind of like will push you, you know. But this was like actual like powerful. So we swim out there and it was really hard to get out. And we're like, wow, okay, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, but we came this far. I dropped in on a wave that was so big. I didn't fall off. I made it to the bottom, but I was so scared because it was so big. I jumped off. Terrible idea. I went underwater, and it was the kind of washing machine that you didn't know up from down. It's not like you could follow your bubbles because you're like this. I didn't know how deep I was. I didn't know if I was swimming down or if I was swimming up.
Wow.
And then I remember thinking, well, I guess my body will wash up on shore, but then I found
I
the
have like
surface.
a legitimate, like if I had to say what I'm afraid of, it's the ocean for sure. Just the vastness of it, the not knowing of it all. I do not want to be out in the middle of all that. Like all the worst movies I've ever seen are the ones where the ship's like
Jaws.
out in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
and you're just out there. I'm just not down with any of that. And no desire to.
Cruise ships are super eerie in that regard too. Like if you've ever been like, I've told you guys, I've mentioned this before. That's like where they say the easiest place to kill somebody is a cruise ship because they'll
Actually read a
never
book
find the
about
person.
Right.
Yeah,
It was fiction, but
it was fiction.
a great novel about someone getting
Oh,
killed on
gotcha.
a cruise ship. A whodunit.
I have one word for you. Rogue Wave.
It's a movie, isn't it?
Oh, is
I
it?
don't know. It's
I'm
a line
like,
from
I mean,
some
isn't that
movie,
like
but
White
yeah, like I don't
Crash?
know. Just be out there on that thing and then have it go down, and
Yeah.
it's filling up, and you're fighting for air.
Well,
I'm starting to suffocate right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oof.
Grizzly bears.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not good.
that wouldn't be a good way to go. So anything
Being buried
slow.
alive.
Ooh, yeah, that would not be.
Well, burn to death or freeze to death. I'm sure we've discussed this at some point. Would you rather?
Isn't
burn
there
or
a
freeze?
Either.
There's a book
Well,
called
pick one.
Faces of Death, I think it's called.
My brother read that, I think.
Where are we going with this podcast?
It's getting
Take it
dark.
on something really happy.
We
Like
went
where
from fear.
People have like they have the testimonies of
People
like
that
like this one lady gets attacked by a mountain lion.
Nope.
Yeah,
And she lives
negative.
through it.
Hard no on that one. Yeah,
Have a
let's-
great day.
Yeah, no, you can't end on
And on that note,
There has to be.
Welcome.
Oh, this is fun. Maybe not for you guys.
Probably
but,
not. Go ahead.
So, as you
Is it
know,
a recipe?
No.
I'm
Although
leaving if
Silver,
it
I mean,
is.
for you, I could end with a recipe. So, you guys know I have like 47 pairs of headphones because, you know, toilets.
Because you're
and things.
47 years old.
I
You
am
get a new pair every year.
Not even
Dang.
close. He's so funny.
Just trying to end it on a funny note.
It is funny.
bring a light back.
So I realized randomly the other day, like I ran out of battery, crazy. So they turn off and it says goodbye to me in a lovely British accent. My headphones are British. Who knew? Isn't that great?
That actually bothers me. I'm pissed.
Why? Would you rather it be like pirate or
Hey man, this is America. Speak American.
so?
Oh my goodness.
I'm not against anybody from a
Hey,
foreign country.
charge your damn headphones. That's what it should end with. You know,
that's better,
that's what
yeah.
it should say.
I got
Charge
the
your
joke.
headphones before they get to
Hey,
the
jackass,
better.
your headphones are dying.
If they listen, if it can say that to you in a British accent, I'm down. How would that be? Hello, Elly.
Charge your
Charge
damn
it.
headphones.
Charge your damn
Charge your
headphones.
headphones, Elly. Hello, governor.
Oh, that's more pirate.
Hello, puppet.
Hello, puppet.
We know you're in here, puppet.
Hey, Elly, charge your headphones.
It's so hard for me to do accents. I don't know how
can't do
these
accents.
actors do like full accent.
I
and
know.
different-
I can't do accents.
That's
Crazy.
Wow.
My brain just doesn't work that
My
way.
stomach hurts now. That was good. I'm glad you guys feel that strongly about the headphone accent. I'll remember that the next time I let them die.
What my Siri is actually, I think, an Australian accent.
you
which
did
is,
that?
It's
Yeah.
kind of sexy. It's kind of
Whoa,
sexy.
you just got judged by Rich. He just
Hey,
said you
Siri.
did that.
I don't even know what mine is. No, it just pops up.
Well, you have to ask her a question. She'll talk back.
Let's see.
Tell her to tell you a joke.
Tell me a joke.
You just say, "Hey Siri."
Hey Siri, tell me a joke. Nope. It's pretty good.
What did she say?
As soon as you find out someone has 10,000 bees, marry them. That's when you know they're a keeper.
That's a good dad joke.
It's a dad
See,
joke
Siri,
for sure.
she's so good.
That's good. I liked it.
So your Siri has a normal voice.
Yep.
I think mine does too now because it's the same accent.
Yeah.
I never use Siri. Am I the only person?
I've only started using it like the last 2 or 3 weeks. I didn't even know you could do that.
How did you stumble
I
upon
actually
it?
use it.
I don't remember.
I should use it more. I know.
We got Amazon now instead of Apple.
But you know what's terrifying
Oh,
is
you're
that
telling
means
me
it's listening to you at all times.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
wait, when
That's why we don't have an Alexa, because we have enough of these in the house to listen to you.
Yeah.
True.
in China, they're not even letting people use Teslas anymore because they think that the Teslas are listening to them and taking like government secrets.
Good.
But on that note, I also just read yesterday. I'm just telling you guys because it's already a year-long wait. So
I will not be buying a Tesla.
no, it's not that. Elon Musk is now doing internet called Starlink from the satellites. It's already a year delay, but it's like going to be $100 a month,
Yeah,
and
I
you
heard
get
this.
internet from the satellite. So it's like it's super
Everywhere.
fast.
So
It's
anytime it
awesome.
snos or rains or anything like that, you won't have
No,
internet.
it works.
How much
kidding, I'm
faster do
kidding.
we
I'm
need?
like, what?
Anywhere
much-
in the world, too, because it's satellite.
I feel like the internet's pretty fast.
I feel like it
Already.
is.
Depends on where it's at.
Yeah.
I feel like the internet's pretty fast.
You said it like she said it like the internet is actually a thing. It's its own thing. I feel like the internet's fast.
I lived through dial-up.
There's not a
I
modem.
lived through
It's the
Wow.
connection. It's not the actual internet.
Whatever.
I feel like the internet's already there. I just have to search it.
I just have to be connected and it works great.
It's your connection, Tasia.
So,
Okay.
anyway.
Tasia.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
I feel like we should wipe this podcast. Get rid of it.
Nope.
Check with the internet and see if it wants to.
I think it's already out there. I think they've already made it out there.
Yeah.
It's so fast.
So he's making internet that's just coming from a satellite. Cool.
Well, also, I don't know that it's that great. I just advocate it because I
is
think
the-
it's cool.
But you hippie then,
You
like
what?
the internet's now being streamed through you. Are you gonna die sooner and get cancer?
Oh, for
like
Pete's
you
sake.
look at
I don't know.
Wi-Fi,
Well, now you're-
Bluetooth, all that stuff.
Is it actually the internet
That's
or the
actually a really
internet?
good question.
is it the
internet.
cloud? I don't know.
The internet.
Where is the cloud?
I still want to know.
Is it like right here?
I'm genuinely still
Then why can't it just be
confused
on my phone?
about the cloud. I'm not
Oh.
kidding. I have no idea how it works.
The cloud
They know everything.
or the
makes-
internet's?
It makes no sense to me because they're like the cloud is here.
It's a room
It's-
of servers.
Is
what
it?
is. Yes.
Really? For real? You
that
just
holds
answered
all
the
my
cloud
pictures
question?
and contacts.
It's really a
It's
room
just
of servers?
It's just servers.
And
Wouldn't
it's
it have to be like the
Where
size
the
of
hell
the United
else are they
States?
gonna put it?
It's an actual thing. I thought
Why
it was
can't
like
it be on my phone?
I thought it was
Because
air.
your phone only has so much
Air? What do you mean air?
But I thought it was like transmitted through.
I mean, Bluetooth signals, right?
Yeah, like I didn't think it was a structure. It's a
You know
structure.
what?
It's going. It has to
Go
terminate
somewhere and
somewhere.
be housed somewhere.
Right.
All of our truly.
All that NSA data somewhere.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I guarantee you personally have a server somewhere where they've collected all kinds of stuff on you.
Well, that's gonna be worth millions of me.
That's gotta be. Okay, I have like one last question. I need to know if this is gonna be
Tasia's in
creepy.
the
How
we
many
don't
carbs
care
can I
file.
eat in a day and not gain a pound? Sorry, that was mean.
There's a lot of intelligent things.
How many
on my
carbs are in a
Tasia
macro?
There's
server.
How many carbs are in a macro?
what would be the most like the raciest like what's the, I don't even know what the right word.
Where are we going with this?
What's our
Are
Google
we
search?
Whoa.
I guess I don't mean it. I'm trying to figure out the right word.
The
like the most
raciest what?
nefarious thing on your internet server. It would be like What would it be? Have you ever even swore at anybody before? Like,
You want to hear? You want to hear my
said a bad word?
Last 5 searches on Google.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Let's look
Simple
at
superhero costumes for the other night. Does Grogu get murdered by Kylo Ren? Because I watched Mandalorian and I kind of assumed that. And then we watched Peabody and Sherman, the TV. It's a movie, kids movie, and so I wanted to look up if it was an old cartoon, and it was. And then in season 2 of Mandalorian, the voice sounded super familiar, and it's the dad from Moana. So I googled that.
Oh.
That's my
Wait,
That's
in
my last
the
5.
super what movie?
in Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
He's
I
Boba
haven't
Fett.
Okay,
and
Did
Boba
you
Fett.
give any spoilers just now on Mandalorian or no? Just for
season
anyone
2,
watching.
I guess that. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Have you?
Well, I don't
apparently, there's some 4-hour Avenger movie or something.
No.
4 hour.
Don't ruin. No, it's a DC movie. It's
Okay.
Justice
I was
League.
gonna ask you about it.
Avengers is Marvel. Justice League is DC, and DC sucks right now.
So Justice League is the
Not the
girl
company.
that's like
Justice League is
Birds of Prey.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
those aren't Marvel.
No, those are all DC. The
I saw
only
co-
good DC movies, I don't even know if DC had anything to do with them, are the Christian Bale Batman trilogy. That's the only
Those
good
are
ones.
Those are good.
I saw a commercial for a dude with wings the other day.
Oh, Falcon. The Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay. Is it any good? Because
Dude with
it wasn't
Pretty good.
believable to me.
pretty
The
good.
dude with the wings.
No,
I
it's
was like,
Marvel movies, man. They're superhero movies.
okay.
They're not. So Batman, I feel like, and this is going off on a tangent, and we're probably over, but the Batman trilogy was done by Christopher Nolan, the newest one, and you watch it, and it's not a ton of green screen or CGI, so you're like, that couldn't happen, but it just happened. So it could happen. I think Christopher Nolan does a great job with that stuff. He made like Tenet, that movie we've been talking about, which is
That's a cool movie.
Did you watch Tenet?
Yeah, I did. I
Dude,
loved it.
How much does that mess with your brain?
I really
I
had-
still don't understand
I
it.
don't
I
either.
watched it twice.
I watched
write
it
that
once, didn't really catch it all, and was like, I don't think I can go through it again.
I watched it again, and you pick up some more things,
What's
but
it
it's still
about?
really hard. I don't even know.
Okay.
We are on
Just-
track.
It's like a
a-
James Bond guy, but time can go backwards. And
Oh,
that's
But
okay.
how,
when they go backwards, everything is going forward. They're going backwards, but everything else is really, it messes with you. It's a really good movie, though. Christopher Nolan does really
Yeah,
good
it was a
stuff
good
with that.
movie.
Like, that's Inception, Interstellar. So those movies are, like, far-fetched but believable because
Right.
he does such a good job.
Yeah.
Where Marvel is, like, it's
Right.
fake because it's a bunch of CGI. So
Right.
I don't care. I just want to be
Yeah.
entertained. And so Falcon
Right.
and Winter Soldier, I watched that first episode. It was good.
okay.
Good. Oh, it's like a series.
It's a series like WandaVision was.
Okay.
It's their
I
next.
do want to watch
Marvel.
WandaVision. I've
It's
heard
actually
good
pretty
things.
good after you get past the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
The first 3 episodes are terrible. They're really hard to watch.
you push through the first
You
3?
push through the first 3. They're only like
Wow.
30
And
or
they're
40
necessary
minutes.
to
And they're
watch.
necessary. But then when you watch, after you watch 8, I think it is, you need to go back watch 1, 2, and 3 because you didn't pay attention in 1, 2, and 3 because it was so boring. Not boring, but just didn't make sense. But now it makes complete sense.
Everyone's talking about
They're
it, so
It's good. I enjoyed it.
I've watched The Dissident.
Oh, yeah.
Got to watch that. Super amazing.
Really?
King of Saudi Arabia kills
The
a journalist.
documentary, yeah.
It's a documentary.
That,
It's really, really insightful. Like,
If
wow.
you want the back end of all that, go to the Rich Roll podcast and listen to the guy who's the producer of it. It's unreal.
He's been on Rogan. The
Yeah.
dude and then you know what we watched the other day that I would have never ever watched, but was really cool. It was called My Octopus Teacher, and it was a marine biologist
Ooh.
who loses his job, and then he goes home and he lives. I think he lives in England somewhere, but then he basically documents a day in the life of this octopus under the water, and
Is it
it's
real?
it's so good.
Cool.
It's such a cool story. And like it was some of the coolest photography I've ever seen.
that's awesome.
And it follows the octopus because they only live about a year from the
Really?
time that it's born till the time of it dies. And it's really a good. I would have
Wow.
never watched it, but it was really good.
No, that's cool. I like marine life stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool. I enjoyed that.
All right.
Is that it right there?
We watched Kicking and Screaming the other night. So good.
that's a good.
Good.
That
Will
is.
Ferrell.
Ferrell.
That's so good.
It's
haven't
my
seen that
favorite
one.
Will Ferrell movie,
It's
and I
so
love
good.
all
Really?
these.
2005, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
He made so many good movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was a great one because kids just started playing soccer again. Hillary had never seen it.
so good. Have you watched that one?
Yeah. That's
Oh, it's so
He drinks coffee and freaks out. We'll have a half calf. We're gonna have a half calf. All right. That's it.
That's it.
Peace.
good. Okay, bye.